Добрый день, доброе утро, уважаемые участники деловой миссии, которая сегодня проходит в
Morning and
онлайн.
welcome to this online mission between companies and agencies of Russia and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It was established by agro-expert of Ministry of Agriculture with support of Ministry of Environment, Water and Agriculture of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. As head of the Federal Head of Agro-Expert Center, I would like to start our work and say a few words about our organization. The broadcast is carried out in 3 languages: Russian, English and Arabic. You have to choose the globe sign if you are watching your broadcast from your smartphone. If you have not completely developed the window, you'll find this window hidden behind the additional button with 3 buttons. 3 dots. Please choose your translation channel for simultaneous translation into appropriate language. This business mission will be carried out for 4 days, and the open events will be stated. The open plenary session, the Intertrade session, prospects of agricultural products Intertrade, HoReCa sector potential in Saudi Arabia. It will start immediately after the plenary session, and at 1 o'clock we will have round table, halal products certification. The mission will see approximately 40 organizations from Russia, agencies and unions from Saudi Arabia. There are more than 50 large distributors, retailers of agricultural products. Dear colleagues, I would like to start this plenary session and speak about the prospects of the Intertrade to Deputy Minister of this Ministry of Agriculture, Russian Federation, Sergei Levin. Colleagues, good afternoon, and I would like to welcome you all here in this meeting. First of all, I would like to thank all of the participants of today's mission who have accepted our invitation. I have seen that a big number of participants have been registered from both Russian Federation and Saudi Arabia, which proves that prospects of the intertrade and the relations in agricultural sphere is evaluated very highly by business and by the authorities. First of all, I would like to point out that despite the coronavirus pandemic, last year the intertrade volume of trade between Russia and Saudi Arabia in agriculture doubled as compared to the 2019 versus 2019 year to year. So it proves that the prospects are huge, and they are proved by the volumes of trade which have been achieved despite all of the difficulties. The surveillance bodies and monitoring bodies do all possible things to facilitate active trade for business. A very important step for the development of that. The decision was made by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the easing of the requirement of trade of the Russian wheat. That's why the shipments have started. Approximately 250,000 metric tons of wheat have been sold. Saudi Arabia is buying Russian barley in big volumes, and last year barley supplies had increased to approximately $500,000, which is double compared to 2019. Positive dynamics was shown by the expert of confectioneries. It has risen by 22%. Beef shipments have risen sharply. It started last year only, and it increased by 35 times in 2020, which is a very good result. And in Ministry of Agriculture, we believe it's important to develop a volume of trade of different agricultural products like beef, grain, legumes, etc., because we have significant potential for the increase of trade. Last year, surveillance bodies had agreed on certificates supplied from dairy products and milk, fish, honey, and other agricultural products. And I think a very soon improvement of supplies of such products to Saudi Arabia will influence the exports positively. I would like to highlight that in the next 10 years, Russia is going to introduce approximately 13 million hectares of farmland into production, which will increase the potential of agricultural sector. Saudi companies can directly be involved in such expansion programs, and a serious tool which will be guaranteeing the food safety will be direct investments of our Saudi partners into agricultural development. And I hope our event today will establish new fruitful contacts between Russian and Saudi companies. And I would like to wish all of the participants very productive work, lots of contacts and contracts. Good luck. Thank you, Sergey. I would like to invite Dr. Suleiman Ali Al-Khatib, Director of the General Department of Plant Wealth of the Ministry of Environment, Water and Agriculture of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Dr. Suleiman, how would you evaluate the potential of our intertrade and what will facilitate its potential in the future? Over to you, please.
Yes, thank you very much for this meeting and inviting us. First of all, Your Excellency, Deputy Minister, distinguished colleagues and invitees, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And it is my great pleasure to be with you this morning in this high-level virtual meeting to present the economic situation and business environment of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. First of all, I wish to thank the organizing committee for inviting us to this occasion. I now take the opportunity on behalf of the Ministry of Environment, Water and Agriculture to welcome Russia here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in the field of agriculture to enter a new stage in the development of bilateral relationship and strengthening this relationship. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is facing the challenges of desertification, hot, dry climate, water scarcity, both soil fertility and labor shortage. All these challenges are enabling us to develop innovative solutions to protect our food security. The domestic food production system only able to fulfill 25% of food requirements, such as grains 1.3 million tons, vegetables 2.7 million tons, fruit excluding dates 0.8 million tons, while the rest of the food requirement of Saudi Arabia are met through high share of import of agricultural commodities. Therefore, we are categorized under net food importer country list with a trade of 80% by value with a worth of $18 billion between export and import bill of food. However, there are some areas such as milk, egg, date, in which we are more than our self-sufficiency. By keeping in mind these challenges, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, after its transformation strategy, implemented a number of initiatives. The most relevant to this particular event from the food security and safety point of view are Saudi good agriculture practices and terracing farming, controlled environment agriculture, and organic food production. In the case of priority agricultural products, Russia has the great opportunity to contribute to the food security of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia through exporting grains along with some fruits with our self-sufficiency less than 30%. Furthermore, Russia could also increase the export of green fodder to fulfill our emerging demands. The share of barley export from Russia to Saudi Arabia could also be enhanced to fulfill our requirement. Fisheries, honey products are a good opportunity to work together on it to increase the share of the Russians export to Saudi Arabia. In addition, Russian private sector could also contribute to the field of agriculture imports, such as biopesticides, fertilizers, seeds, etc. And this is in need in Saudi Arabia to fulfill our requirement in our agriculture system. The Russian investors may also benefit from the plenty of sunshine to be converted as an energy, with our priority of water energy for Nexus as one of the emerging needed requirement in our agriculture system. Furthermore, precision agriculture is inevitable in order to meet the growing food demands and maximize water use efficiency. Technology sharing in this regard is mutually beneficial to protect food security, enhance cooperation, and safeguard our planet. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, is being the main exporter of dates, is posing a huge potential on the use of date due to extraordinary nutrition value and health benefits. Cooperation in the agriculture industry. In this regard, we are looking for deepening the engagement of private sector by encouraging collaboration and promoting trade of agricultural goods and services, conducting meetings to facilitate them, to remove the barriers and difficulties, and enhancing cooperation in the field of agriculture by sharing technology, knowledge, information, and experts. In the end, I hope our meeting and discussion will proceed toward fruitful outcomes. Thank you very much for your attention and this opportunity. Thank you.
Спасибо, господин Сулейман.
Thank you,
so
Mr.
much, Your
Suleiman.
Excellency, Mr. Suleiman.
The Russian products in many countries has recommended itself as a high quality and meets the requirements of foreign consumers, and our exporters are reliable partners, and a big role
there
belongs here to the very competitive authority of Russian Federation, Rossельхознадзor, and to make a presentation of how Russian export products meet the requirements of our users be explained by the assistant of Rossельхознадзor, Artem Daushev, advisor to the director. Good afternoon, dear colleagues, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak at such an important event. Sergei has already mentioned our success in mutual supplies, intertrade of agricultural products, and we indeed established a very constructive interaction with our colleagues from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, from the Grain Agency of Saudi Arabia, and we interact successfully, providing access to agricultural products. And we would like to thank our colleagues for this fruitful partnership. And yes, indeed, we are trying to expand the supplies. We would like to align the certificates and expand the number of companies that supply the products. It currently has opportunities to supply fish products, and 4 companies have been assessed and they started supplies. Russian products have been supplied to significant volumes, and despite of the pandemic, we have increased the supplies of poultry and meat, and we had a very sharp increase of beef supplies. More than 40 companies have been approved to provide supplies to Saudi Arabia, 1 for beef, 4 for ready products, 4 for dairy products, 10 for poultry, and 5 for honey, 5 for eggs, and 5 for lamb. And we're expanding this list, for which I would like to thank once again the colleagues from Saudi Arabia, and we will carry on our work expanding our supplies. And would also like to address our partnership in the scientific field. We have invited our colleagues to visit one of our research facilities. However, the pandemic adjusted our plans, but I hope we can arrange such a visit even this year, we hope. And we would like to say that on the 7th of April, a conference will be conducted which will discuss the measures to prevent the coronavirus infection spread for animals. And we would like to welcome our colleagues to join in this conference, which is organized by the Russian party. And I hope it will be very useful to be involved in this conference for our colleagues as well. And we partner with our colleagues quite successfully. We are addressing issues on the animal diseases on the side of our partners, and we hope fruitful cooperation in the future. I would like to wish you good luck, and thank you very much for joining us here. Thank you, Artyom. A very significant share of our supplies is grain supplies, and I would like to give the floor to the Rossельхознадзor and the grain surveillance body, Yulia Koroleva. Thank you very much. I would like to welcome here all of our colleagues from Russia and Saudi Arabia, and I hope that we have, and I know that we already had been working tightly together when we worked on the access of the Russian wheat to the market of Saudi Arabia, and I would like to thank you for a very constructive dialogue we established back then. I would like to point out that in Saudi Arabia remains a very big important of barley, and we have increased the supplies from 1.5 million metric tons to 1.8 million metric tons and 2.8 million metric tons of barley. Approximately 43% of barley exports accounts for the share of Saudi Arabia, and we understand the needs of barley, that we need to raise this to 7 million tons, 7.5 million tons. We have room to improve. As Deputy Minister said, we are shipping wheat, not in such big volumes as we would like to, but we can observe positive dynamics in there. And we would like to say that we are interested about letting out not only grain products, but not only grain as such, but also processed grain products. Our Saudi colleagues may be interested about that. That will be the next stage of our cooperation. Thank you very much, and good luck. Thank you, Yulia. And for the response, I would like to give the floor to Professor Hisham Saad Al-Jadhi, Executive President, the Saudi Food and Drug Authority. Professor Hisham, could you please tell us about the progress in mutual intertrade of Russia and Saudi Arabia, and would like to thank you as well for a very constructive work in that respect. Over to you, please.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It's bringing me great pleasure to participate today in this plenary session of the Russian company's online business mission, which will discuss development, prospects of agricultural products, intertrade between Saudi Arabia and the Russian Federation. With the COVID-19, we faced serious challenges which affected many aspects of our lives and also affected the supply chain for food. And this really threatening the sense of world access to food. Also, the pandemic has presented opportunities and areas of importance, one of which is that close and effective cooperation between food regulators, industry, and producers was essential to sustain the flow of food supply chain. This is evident in the various collaboration undertaken by the Saudi Food and Drug Authority with its counterpart agencies in Russia, such as the Russian Ministry of Agriculture and the Russian Federal Service for Veterinary and Phytosanitary Surveillance. In 2020, the imported Russian products for food compliance rate with the Saudi FDA technical regulation and specification has reached an outstanding percentage of 99.8%. This is a result of coherent and consistent cooperation between the relevant parties, either regulators or with the companies. Another example of Saudi-Russian trade development would be the noticeable increase in the number of Saudi FDA approved Russian establishment for imports of meat and meat products, honey and eggs to Saudi Arabia. It was 3 establishments in 2019, increased to 27 establishments in 2020. Eventually, these collaborations have resulted in actually increase the number of Russian total food imports that's regulated by the Saudi FDA to Saudi Arabia by more than 25% in 2020. And with imports account to more than 140,000 tons. This FDA has an open dialogue with its Russian counterparts to eliminate barriers and remove any obstacles that may hinder or disrupt food trade between our two countries. I would like to recall our meeting that I had with Your Excellency, the Russian Deputy Minister, Mr. Sergey Levin in December, where we discussed the challenges faced by the Russian establishments to achieve the halal accreditation requirements. Since then, two agencies have been appointed and accredited to grant halal certificates in Russia. Finally, I want to thank you. As an organizer, and thank you, Your Excellency, the Russian Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Levin, for this invitation to participate in this event, me and my colleague from the Saudi FDA, and wish you all the success in achieving a desired outcome. Thank you.
Спасибо большое, Ваше Превосходительство.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we'll speak in more detail about certification of halal products, and this approach would be addressed at the roundtable, which will take place at 1:00 p.m. And Saudi Arabia will be represented by a big number of very important persons, guests who will act as speakers at that event. Today, we'll also welcome Mr. Ahmed Al Musairi, director of the Accreditation Center, and the Food and Drug Authority representative would be also there, head of the Dr. Yusuf Salem Al-Kardi, and a whole range of other important guests and speakers. The development of Russian-Saudi relations in the area of agriculture certainly is not possible without mutual readiness for investments. In 2019, the Russian Direct Investment Fund announced cooperation with the Saudi Agriculture and Livestock Investment Company. I'd like to pass the floor to Mr. Nasser Alisa, Deputy Chief Investment Officer. Over to you.
Thank you and good morning, everyone, Your Excellencies and colleagues. Thank you for this important meeting and for allowing us time to meet and speak about our initiative. As you are aware, SALIC is a joint stock company fully owned by the Public Investment Fund. Founded in 2009, the company has been established to invest in agricultural investments and in livestock production in selective competitive advantage countries. The creation of SALIC was envisaged as part of the 2030 vision of the kingdom. And since then, SALIC has started its operations and has invested in 6 different regions in multi different commodities and products. The vision of SALIC is the vision of having food security for the kingdom and sustainable investments that goes even beyond the kingdom to regional countries. The business strategy will continue to focus on specific commodities where you have seen SALIC participate through investing and as well through trading. These commodities that SALIC invests in are highly selected as a highly critical 12 commodities, including grains such as wheat, soybean, barley, and corn. And we also have done investments in rice, in red meat, and have plans to invest further in dairy products, in aquaculture, and in poultry. Also recently, SALIC has won a mandate to deliver over 350,000 tons of wheat. This wheat was sourced from 3 different locations around the globe. And potentially this could be sourced from Russia as well, as we work to collaborate together in the future. Going forward, we have activated a trading arm in SALIC, where we look forward to working across various products and commodities with our counterparts in Russia. I also believe that later today, this afternoon, at 2:30, we have a multilateral meeting with colleagues here at SALIC who are leading the trading function, and we'll be further discussing opportunities to grow together, trade together, and establish a more fruitful relationship between SALIC and its Russian counterparts. Thank you again for this opportunity. We really value it and appreciate it. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nasser. Really, today there will be a very important meeting today on supplies of grain. It would be attended by heads of our major companies and associations. And saying that, I would like to pass the floor to Director of the Department of International Cooperation from the Ministry of Agriculture of the Russian Federation, Mr. Malkosyan Artyom. Actually, he is Deputy Director of the department. He will tell us about the cooperation between Russia and Saudi Arabia in the area of agriculture. Thank you so much, dear colleagues. Good afternoon. I'd like to note that the Russian-Saudi relations in the area of agriculture are continuously growing and have a serious room for improvement and expansion. First of all, it would be achieved thanks to the documents which we signed back in 2019, a memorandum of understanding signed between both ministries on extending the sales of agricultural products in the markets of both countries. Besides, there are certain objectives to increase the export of the agricultural products from Russia to other countries, and Saudi Arabia is one of the priority countries in the Gulf region, which we would regard as a potential partner to increase our products. We'd like to increase the supplies of confectionery products, of grain, of meat. Also, we'd like to start supplying fish products and dairy products. Besides, we're interested in setting up contacts with the business structures from Saudi Arabia and train chains. It's very good to have a communication channel in order to get a feedback about the shelf life, labeling, packaging, and other requirements set by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the supplies from Russia. As was said, one of the roundtables would be organized to this end. Besides, we see huge potential for the development of the investment cooperation and an expansion of our halal products supplies to Saudi Arabia. I would like to thank the representatives of the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Environment, Water and Agriculture of Saudi Arabia, representatives of SFDA, SALIC, SAGO, Chamber of Commerce and other organizations. Thank you for attending this our event, and thank you for further fruitful cooperation in order to develop certain priorities, cooperation between our countries. Thank you so much. This concludes my remarks. Thank you so much, Artyom. Well, saying that, I would like to say that very soon after we conclude our opening plenary session, a roundtable on the potential of HoReCa sector would be held. I'd like to say that we will have outstanding speakers, Directors General, District Director, West Province, SA, Firas Naimhen, Saudi Airlines Catering representative, CEO, also Group Advisory Head from Nestle, Saudi Arabia, and it would be moderated by Thomas Gugler, President of the World Association of Chefs Societies. I'd like to thank everyone for your kind participation, and before we finish our plenary session, let me show to you a brief video presentation, a clip which we shot specifically for that event, which will tell you in more detail about the potential of the Russian enterprises and Russian products. See you at 10:40 for our next round table. Thank you so much for your participation.
The Ministry of Agriculture of the Russian Federation, Agro-Export. Russia is located in Eastern Europe and Northern Asia. The total area is 17.1 million square kilometers. The total population of Russia is 146.2 million people. Russia is a multinational ethno-cultural country. In particular, Russia is home to about 25 million Muslims. The Russian Federation is the largest state in the world in respect of the territory. It ranks 9th in terms of population and 6th in terms of GDP. The Russian agro-industrial complex is a driver for the country's economic growth. The sown area in Russia is 79.9 million hectares. The rural population is 25% of the total population. More than 100,000 agriculture, forestry, hunting, fishing, and fish farming companies operate in Russia. The agricultural production in Russia doubled over the past decade. The structure of agro-industrial complex consists of crop production, 54%, and animal breeding, 46%. The export of agricultural products in 2020 was worth $30.7 billion. The Russian agricultural products are exported to more than 157 countries in the world. Grain industry. Gross grain harvest in 2020 was 129.6 million tons. Grain exports in 2020 were worth $10.3 billion. Grain is exported to 109 countries. Largest buyers of Russian grain: Turkey, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, Azerbaijan. Achievements: first in the world for wheat exports, second in the world for barley export. Leguminous vegetables. Gross harvest of legumes in 2020 was 3.4 million tons. Export of legumes in 2020 was worth $354 million. Leguminous vegetables is exported to 76 countries. Largest buyers of Russian legumes: Pakistan, Turkey, India, Italy, Spain. Industry achievements: stable production growth rates, expand exports geography. Fat and oil industry. Production in 2020 was 21 million tons. Fat and oil products exports in 2020 were worth $4,954 million. Fat and oil products is exported to 96 countries. Largest buyers of Russian fat and oil products: China, Turkey, India, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. Achievements: second in the world for sunflower oil exports, third in the world for rapeseed oil exports. Expand exports geography. Meat industry. Production in 2020 was 11.2 million tons. Meat exports in 2020 were worth $887 million. Meat is exported to 62 countries. Largest buyers of Russian meat products: China, Vietnam, Ukraine, Hong Kong, Belarus. Achievements: fourth in the world for poultry meat production. Exports growth by more than 4 times in terms of value over the past 5 years. Expand exports geography. Dairy industry. Raw milk production in 2020 was 32.2 million tons. Commercial milk production in 2020 was 23.5 million tons. Dairy products exports in 2020 were worth $318 million. Dairy products is exported to 41 countries. Largest buyers of Russian dairy products: Kazakhstan, Belarus, Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan. Achievements: fifth in the world in terms of milk production. For 5 years, the exports has grown in value by 33%. Expansion of exported products range. Confectionery. Production in 2020 was 3,853,000 tons. Confectionery products exports in 2020 were worth $1,377 million. Confectionery products is exported to 88 countries. Largest buyers of Russian confectionery: Kazakhstan, Belarus, China, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan. Achievements: the Russian confectionery market ranks 8th in the world, which is 3% of the global market. Expansion of exported products range. Expand export geography. Eggs and egg products. Production in 2020 was 44.8 billion eggs. Eggs and egg products exports in 2020 were worth $31 million. Eggs and egg products is exported to 28 countries. Largest buyers of Russian egg and egg products: Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, UAE, Kyrgyzstan. Achievements: 6th in the world for egg production. Exports more than doubled over the past 5 years. Promising products for Russian exports: grains, vegetable oils, meat, poultry, beef, mutton. Dairy products, confectionery, flour, soft drinks, cereals, sausages, fish. Top countries with export potential for Russia: Middle East and the Persian Gulf, African countries, Asian countries, CIS countries.